Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We have another absolutely ridiculous news break from the fake fans of Star Wars, from the people trying to rip the truth out of the sky that are paid off by Lucasfilm and have everything handed to them, in order to, bury their true opinions and true thoughts. And now they've been completely brainwashed by Disney and by Lucasfilm to play their narrative. So we're going to get into it, and I'm going to have a little talk too after I read this whole ridiculous document, which is way too long, but it's a liberal, so what do you expect? They don't know how to just be freaking short and sweet or freaking talk about something without skewing everything they're saying. So, typical. But they're basically attacking my YouTube allies, and I am absolutely not going to be standing by that. They have no proof. There's no leads. All the quotes in here are cherry-picked, taken out of context. And if anything happens to them, and this is Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kennel, Nerdrotic, Star Wars Theory, if anything happens to any of their channels, I'm going to have a serious issue, and I'm going to have to speak with Team YouTube, and I will speak with Theory, and I will, try to speak with Theory. I know he's super busy, but I could probably, get in contact. I have been, in the Theory Sabers DM. I don't know if that's him or one of his customer support people, but it's in the realm of possibility. I can definitely speak to Jeremy and Ryan, and we're going to have to figure this out, because this is ridiculous. And then shortly enough, they're going to go after, I'm sure, Jay from Drunk 3PO. I'm sure they're going to go after him at some point. They're going to go after all of us. They're going to go after me. They already have. They've screwed me in the algorithm multiple times, and I've noticed, and I've had to, say stuff in order to get it changed. But this is ridiculous, and I'm telling you, it's all lies, and it's disgusting that they are using Star Wars to channel all their anger and their hatred and their just craziness. That's just horrible. Because why Star Wars out of everything, man? This franchise, man, you guys know how much it means to me, and they're using it for their stupid political agenda, and have been called out, to by Lucasfilm and by Disney to basically go after all of these people who are speaking the truth. And this is something that happens all throughout history. Is whenever there's the truth seekers and the truth speakers, they always get attacked. They always get told they're crazy. They always try to get shut out. This is just how history's gone. And it's just going to continue because, the evil people and the liars and the, little, goon goblins, they're always going to be out there in the world, and they're always going to attack. And, you as a truth seeker and truth speaker always have to defend yourself and do absolutely everything you need to do. Because this is absolutely insane, and this is probably the worst thing they've done yet. And this is all because they can't handle that their show is getting canceled. That they don't even, funny thing is, they don't even like it that much. They just pretend to, because that's what, gives them more Lucasfilm credits, so that they can go to more premieres. Because they're all pretty much communists for the most part when you look at the stuff that they talk about and things they say and their bios. So it pretty much tells you everything about them. But yeah, so now that I've kind of nailed the, nailed the nail in the coffin, with these idiots, and I'm gonna, what? I still like to see what they say, because, then I can talk about it here and prove it wrong and be like, this is just insane. But I'm gonna cut most of them off, because this is just insane. And I saw some meme today. It was like real Star Wars fans fighting off the Disney shills and the false narratives daily, and it was Deadpool and Wolverine in the final battle, slaughtering all the variants. I'm like, dude, this is what it is, man. It's it's so annoying, and it's stressful, and it's because we all just get attacked all the time, and it's like, I'm just telling you the truth, man. Like, this is the reality of the situation. Anyways, we're starting off with the bigot message. Dear Team YouTube, last week, actor Amanda Stenberg, of course they have to add her pronouns, she, they, posted candid comments while she was laughing the whole video to Instagram about the, quote, rampage of bigotry and vitriol, that she said very uncaringly, that she has received since the cast of The Acolyte. What does that even mean? So, okay, so they can't speak English, they don't know how to write, they clearly never were in honors English or in any English class for that matter. The latest addition to the Star Wars universe. Amanda's experience is not new. In fact, this known tactic was initially provoked by former Breitbart news editor Milo Yiannopoulos, who aggressively targeted Ghostbusters actor Leslie Jones. So, this is where we go. They always love to do this, too. They go completely off topic, something like ridiculously unrelated to their situation in order to try to build credibility. And this is something I see, not only them, I see just people do all the time. And I'm like, whoa, like, why are we going here, right? When you're arguing with someone, you're like, this is not related to what, keep it on topic and give me evidence directly related. And of course they cannot. So they have to go to a totally different situation that occurred 8 years ago in order to, build their argument. So that alone, oh God. Under the guise of film criticism, after prolonged insults at her Ghostbusters character resulted in harassment against Jones on Twitter, Yiannopoulos claimed Jones was playing the victim when she called her for action against the harassment. The aggressive gaslighting of Jones resulted in Yiannopoulos being banned from Twitter when Twitter was communist. 8 years later, Yiannopoulos, it's such a weird name, Yiannopoulos. 8 years later, Yiannopoulos' playbook against marginalized actors has burgeoned into a multi-million-dollar business on YouTube. Interesting. So that's their perspective. Except, I'm sure this video will get a weird number of low views. All of my videos where I actually am, talking about, the modern-day stuff and, problems don't do as well, I don't think, So I don't know where that's coming from. And I don't know. Actually, that's probably not true. Those do pretty well. But that's just people seeing the truth. They don't of course, videos that speak the truth are going to get more views than you just absolutely glazing all over everything, because no one wants to see that because it's ingenuine. So, yeah. Anyways, which has been permitted to develop unchecked with the help of YouTube's partner program. This playbook's biggest target, Star Wars. No, it's actually not. Star Wars is a tiny piece of YouTube. YouTube is not Star Wars YouTube. It's not, man. YouTube is much broader than only the topic of Star Wars, It's everything you could imagine. So that's stupid to say. As fans of the Star Wars franchise, we have tirelessly witnessed. You're not fans of this franchise. You're wanting it to fall and you're wanting it to become something completely different than it was, and you don't really like Star Wars. You like this new narrative because Lucasfilm pays you off and invites you to everything. We have tirelessly witnessed a handful of YouTube content creators continuously drive prolonged insults and harassment against marginalized actors and members of our community. Enough is enough. They actually said that. Enough is enough. That's what I'm gonna title this video. I'm gonna title this video, "Enough is enough." That's what I'm gonna title this video. Oh my God, I can't believe they actually said it. They sometimes stereotypes are just true. They just are blatantly true. And this is such a good, just such a great example. The Star Wars fandom, nope. No. Not the Star Wars fandom. See, this is where they're skewing. They're not telling facts. This is all, this is how I read, news articles. This is all stuff I wouldn't read. I go to facts, I'm like, okay, this happened at this time at this place. And I click the primary source. Because that is the most truth you're going to get. Because all the media is going to lie and lie and lie and lie and not tell the truth. And this is the same thing here. They are using, emotion in order to, try to make YouTube, go on their side. But all of this is junk. It's all description. It's all, it's not proof and leads. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like the Star Wars fan, no, that's such a, the 2% of the fandom that's completely insane and is way too loud demands that YouTube enforces its community guidelines against prolonged insults and incitement of targeted harassment towards women of color. Okay, so just above there, they said Amanda Stenberg's a they, and then now they're saying women. So is she not included in that? Or is she a woman? Like this, again, contradictory, mental illness, boom. So, yeah, and what if they are being racist towards a man? It doesn't matter, of course, because this is how they are. Until, so they are, well, it is a man of color. Then they're like, oh, no, 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 no. But then, of course, they have to say women of color because it's more, exclusive. So, okay, anyways, by demonetizing YouTube channels Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kinnell, and Nerdrotic. Yeah, that's stupid because they just make videos to call out BS because it needs to be called out because the entire entertainment industry is in the toilet right now and we have to call it out because if no one calls it out, then people are just going to think that nobody's paying attention to this and just walk away. No, that's the difference. Is if we call it out, then people are like, oh, well, they actually see through the bullcrap like I do. And then we all kind of like watch everything together, but kind of like criticize everything together too and be like, well, you should have gone this direction. And then we gain more and more and more people. And then at some point we start getting sources and then we start getting people inside these companies who will then start to change. It's like a flow, and they're huge platforms for truth speaking. And I really appreciate them and how they've kind of sacrificed any chance at getting into the industry, by just telling the straight truth. So, yeah, so here's the quote-unquote facts, which are just cherry-picked, In 2018, Geeks and Gamers, 396,000 subscribers, encouraged harassment against Vietnamese-American actor Kelly Marie Tran. And again, read through the lines, encouraged harassment. There's no any quote backing encouraged harassment. None of that backing up. Anyways, so it says leading to Tran's departure from Instagram due to prolonged harassment. Again, they, same thing. Geeks and Gamers published nearly 15 videos relevant to Tran's Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi character, Rose Tico. The channel claimed that's not true. They posted videos about The Last Jedi, not on her in particular. And if they did, it was because they were calling things out and saying that it's not as one-sided as it seems. Anyways, the channel claimed that Tran's character is one of the most hideous characters of all time. All right, that has nothing to do with the actress or the character. The most unlikable character ever. Okay, not the actress or her race. And exists for forced diversity. Well, okay. And again, who knows if that was even talking about her. That could have been pulled from the Acolyte videos or something. Something completely different. I highly doubt that was pulled from anything of that. And if so, again, you have to watch the video in order to gain the context. So, all lies. Many of the comments found in Geeks and Gamers videos can be seen in hateful comments under trans, now deleted. That doesn't even make sense. How would Geeks and Gamers comments be in her Instagram? What are you talking about? All right, so that doesn't make sense. Geeks and Gamers championed RK Outpost, 319,000 subscribers, a channel that frequently targets marginalized actors, including Moses Ingram, a Black American cast member in the TV series Kenobi. Days before Ingram called out racist backlash against her on Instagram, RK Outpost called Ingram a lunatic. Again, who knows what she said? That's the thing. Who knows what she said? And I know she said some crazy things. Who, quote, can do nothing other than play the victim. Okay, well, that was probably the truth. RK Outpost has recently referred to Ingram's Kenobi character Reva as dumb and retarded. Okay, well, again, that has nothing to do with the actress. That has nothing to do with the character. I mean, it has something to do with the character. It doesn't have to do with the actress or her race. Again, unproving their whole point is you can say whatever you want about a character because it's a character. You're as long as you're not attacking the person, the actor, or the race, that's fine. Would I say that necessarily? No, but if someone else wants to, whatever, bro. As long as you're not being, weird to the actual person. Anyways, Geeks and Gamers and RK Outpost frequently co-host the live stream Friday Night Tights on Nerdrotic's YouTube channel, 1.1 million subscribers, where the three channels have made a profitable business reusing prolonged insults against few marginalized actors featured in Star Wars, Captain Marvel, Lord of the Rings of Power, to name a few. They have not named a single one. Amandla is the current target of this. Okay, yep. Together, Geeks and Gamers, RK Outpost, Nerdrotic have led the charge against Amandla, producing 40 videos relevant to Amandla, so all of them combined and all of their videos combined about Acolyte. So again, read through the lines. These channels have asserted that Amandla is, quote, vapid and narcissistic. Yes, she is. The adult pretender. Yes, she is. Dumb. Probably. And I'm not gonna... That one is interesting. I'm probably not gonna... A half-black B-word for defending herself against racism. Yeah, she... If gaslit Amanda claiming she's playing the victim card, yeah, she is. She is playing the victim card constantly. With RK Outpost proclaiming, you've never been oppressed in your damn life. Yeah, well, that's true too. I really don't think so. She's been in Hollywood since she was a child. So, she hasn't. She's had all the power in the world because she sold her soul at a young age. Or maybe her parents bought her in, or who knows. You have to do some weird culty thing to spawn in all of Hollywood's things these days. Who knows what kind of thing she did to get into Hollywood. Probably something satanic. Who knows. These YouTubers also use racist dog whistles, including the angry black woman stereotype. Whoa. Yeah, anyways. The hate campaign against Amandla has been so profitable that other major YouTubers have joined the attacks on Amandla, including Star Wars Theory 3.3. And then they bring in Theory there, like they always have to. He's not every single video he says, racists are assholes, I'm not a racist, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm just criticizing the writing. And he says that every single video. But of course, they have to bring him in because they're jealous of his numbers, and they're jealous that the majority doesn't agree with them, and they're trying to throw anything they can at Theory because they are all completely insane. And notice how they couldn't quote Theory one time the entire Yap session. Not once could they quote Theory. Because why? He has not said anything. Mildly close to racist or whatever. So they can't quote it. And none of these are even, one of them's, he was probably just too fired up in the situation. But the other ones, they're not horrible, and it's you don't get to go call your fans racist and expect them not to get mad at you, that's just kind of common sense, in my opinion. Yeah, so then they do the call to action. How many good faith content creators will turn to profitable hate campaigns profitable, again, is questionable. If this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussions. Irrelevant. That's stupid and ridiculous, obviously, and that's, again, pulling on emotion. They've barely actually used fact or logic at all, this entire argument. It's all just junk. It's like going through the Walmart, like, DVD bin, and you just see all those, like, horrible movies that, like, you've never heard of in your life, and you're going through, you're like, junk, 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 or then, a bunch of this one old movie that they're trying to get rid of, it's all just junk, 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 right? Like, that's what this is. It's like the bin of Walmart DVDs. These people cannot argue for the life of themselves, and especially having to do with Star Wars, even outlet. You know what, I'm going to go off topic for a, second here, because not only are they unable to have a real argument with evidence, good evidence that isn't cherry-picked, they don't know anything about Star Wars. And when you try to argue any, true fact that is based in truth and out of George Lucas's mouth, they call you crazy. And then they start throwing you this and the phobes and whatever. This has happened to me as well. So, yeah, it's just... Anyways, so here's their action required. So they have a paragraphed action statement, which again disproves their point, because an action statement should be a statement. It shouldn't be a paragraph. And if it's true, then a statement is enough to get your point across. Again, just common sense argumentative skills here. The Star Wars fandom refuses to watch another marginalized actor or fan. What do you mean, or fan? Or fan? Dude, be singled out by prolonged racist harassment from a handful of YouTubers as a result of YouTube's inaction. Oh, wow. So then saying inaction, now you're targeting YouTube. Great way to get your argument, across. Ridiculous. Which has transformed into a lucrative career path. Blah, 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 blah. Has historically resulted in platform bans. We understand that YouTube has an important role to play in promoting free speech, which, by them saying that, is really only referring to what they have to say. That's another issue, is that these shills and these, people who spread false narratives about all of us, like me in Theory, Geeks and Gamers, RK Outpost, Ryan, Drunk 3PO, and all of us, the things that they say about us and are weird about us. That's okay, but what we say isn't. They don't know what the word opinion means. They don't know what it entails. All the stuff we say is bigotry and it's not an opinion. But everything they say is crystal clear and perfect and free speech. But what we say isn't free speech. That's something else. What? So, what kind of, childish thing is that? Oh, shut up, let me talk. That's what this is. It's we can all have our opinions on Star Wars shows, guys. It's not that deep. Then you do this? Come on. Trying to shut down people for telling the truth and calling out BS. That's a whole nother level of stupid. And they'd never include Gina Carano in being marginalized or whatever, and she actually was. So I'm just saying, all these people, they're out of touch with reality, man. They have no idea what they're thinking, and they're inserting politics into everything all the time. And they don't really want the best for this franchise, because they're all paid off and part of a cult, at the end of the day. And me and the boys, me and Jeremy and Ryan and Nerdrotic and Jay and Theory, we're all just on YouTube talking about Star Wars and laughing about stupid stuff and being serious when we need to be serious, and we're just doing it for fun, and we're telling the truth and, have the ability to have a voice. And apparently to them, they want to strip that from us, and I'm not going to let that happen, and there's obviously only so much I can do, and I'm not going to go attack them and say the stuff that they've said to my YouTube allies and to me, I'm not going to go repeat what they said, because I'm not even going to say the stuff that they say on here. And I mean, I could, but it's foul, and that is stuff that can get you banned, is the stuff they were saying. And like, it's just not okay. They're not being okay, and of course there are racists out there, of course there are bigots out there, and of course there are all those people. They exist, they're horrible, and they just have grown up in one kind of space, and they kind of need to step outside a little more and realize, oh wait, there is more than one race and one color and one culture in the world. That's crazy. All those people are stupid, bro. Like, let's be honest. And yeah, and I live in a city full of them, and they're so ignorant and blind. They don't know anything about the world. They can't answer 4 + 4. They're stupid, bro. Like, I'm telling you, they're dumb. But does that mean every single one with their values is like that? No, because that's broad stroking. But a lot of them are just ridiculous and refuse to change. And just because there's people like that out there, it doesn't mean that everyone's like that. And just because someone doesn't agree with your values and doesn't like an actress for being an a-hole, doesn't make them a racist, and doesn't give you the right to use that term and derive it from its meaning. Because now that term to me doesn't mean what it did when I was a kid. When I was a kid, that was serious. Like, if I ever heard racist, it was like bad. I knew something went down, or I knew someone was being treated horribly. Like, it had that power to it still. But ever since 2020, and everyone lost their minds, somehow I didn't, luckily, thanks to the Lord, but, that term has lost its meaning, and so has bigotry, and so has sexist, and so has homophobic, and so has this and that. All of those terms, the Islamophobes, have completely lost their strength and their meaning. Completely. Because of these people that just use them like this. Like it's freaking child's play. They're like, oh yeah, I gotta use the word now. I gotta call him this and that, call him names, try to take down his everything, his whole network, because he has an opinion that I don't like, and because we called out BS and we got the thing we wanted, which was it getting canceled, and that wasn't even due to us. That's due to analytics and 100% fact. And Disney it's so funny because, again, here's another thing they contradict, is they're all on Disney's side and with Lucasfilm, but Disney and Lucasfilm are the ones who decided to cancel the show. So, like, that's weird. But then at the same time, and saying, oh, they cater to the weird fans. But then at the same time, like, you say how Lucasfilm and Disney are so nice and so inclusive and so whatever. So it's like, you're contradicting yourself. Like, these people are just angry. They're soulless. They're, brainwashed. And they're completely pushed away to this singular way of thinking and this singular narrative. To such an extent that, they're gonna say these things and do these things because they have just lost it. Like, all of these people have just lost it. I mean, anyone who reposts this, for the most part, they're just gone, man. Like, they're in another universe, and they don't really know what real racism is. They haven't read the history books. They haven't gone to history class. They haven't read any historical texts. They haven't been to museums, clearly, because real racism is not this, and they haven't seen it. They don't know about it, and that's very clear. And I'm 16, and I know better than this. This is ridiculous. And it's really disappointing, man. I just look at this and I go, I thought people were better than this, but no. And then it gives the whole Star Wars fandom a bad look, because these people aren't even Star Wars fans, are just completely insane. Man, it just sucks, dude. Like, I hate having to deal with these people day in and day out and see their BS and see their skewed narratives and their payout results, and I'm beyond sick of it. And that's why I had to just call them out, because at this point it's just beyond, and I'm not going to attack them. I'm not going to say the things to them that they say to us. I'm not going to do that, because then I'm just like them, and that was a big message from, the Batman, is that once you start killing, you're just like them. And the same kind of thing here. Once you start saying the things they're saying, you're just like them, like, there's no difference anymore. You're just fighting for a different, argument, but morally you're the same, right? So I can't do that. And this has been a very reasonable video. It's been very calm. It's been somber and just truthful about, how these things are just getting to a point that is unreasonable. And, like I've said, if anything happens to my, I'm just going to call them friends, I'm going to kind of lose a lot of faith in humanity and really, well, really not humanity, in I guess YouTube, and whether or not it's a safe, platform for me to be on, and if anything happens to them, that's going to be a big kind of shake to me, and that's gonna discourage me from being on YouTube. I'll just move somewhere else. That's the thing, is I can make videos like this wherever. It's not YouTube exclusive. I'll just move my whole channel and re-upload everything to another place, because I don't want to be giving YouTube all its attention and stuff if anything happens. Now, if nothing happens and YouTube is smart and they're like, you guys are crazy, they actually didn't do anything wrong and it doesn't violate, then that'll just make me want to be with YouTube more and be like, well, YouTube, huge respect for, sticking with your guts and, being strong. And they'll flip out when that happens too. Then they'll go to the next extents and try to start doing legal stuff with these guys, and then get, again, absolutely wrecked and lose all their money. And they're just going to keep losing at the end of the day, because that's all evil people do. They just keep losing, and they lose and they lose and they lose until they're just absolutely destroyed. They might have one or two victories here and there, but they never win in the end. Evil never wins in the end. And that's something we've seen throughout history, throughout time, is that evil people, selfish, inward-facing people, never, come out on the other side a victor at the end of the day. It may take time for them to really lose, but it will happen. And at some point, you know, we've already had things come out about them being paid off and, you know, having their souls sold to these companies. But who knows, we could get something even bigger, you know, that they're part of the even worse, you know, parts of Hollywood, and that'll be it, you know, for them, you know, like that'll just kind of be the end. I already have assumptions about some of them and what they're involved with, but I'm not going out here and talking about it because that's an assumption and that's not respectful to, you know, just say without looking into it. But the fact that they were at some crazy weird cult meeting with Lucasfilm that is super weird and random, you know, that's just fact. You know, that was a weird meeting, and I've heard things about what they said there and about what was being said and how it was not just a little friendly conversation. You know, and there's a lot more I could say on that and might one day, you know, but yeah, this is just really disappointing, and I wish my friends the best. You know, and I hope we could get in touch one day and talk. And, you know, I think it would be cool to see a mentally sane 16-year-old, you know, talk about his experience with this whole thing. It would be pretty cool. So, yeah, I'd love to get in touch with Ryan and Jeremy and Jay and Theory and Nerdrotic, all of them. I'd love to, you know, chat, talk. You know, Critical Drinker, I love all of them. They're great, and I watch all their content all the time. Yeah, too. And I don't spend my time making documents like this and scrolling through every single video. Because guess what? I have a life. I'm a student filmmaker, and I have 6 billion. I have a job. I have my own studio because, you know, Hollywood's weird, and it's like I have all this stuff to deal with, you know, and this YouTube channel, it's a part of my kind of routine. So just a little piece, 37 minutes of my day, which is why I don't go all in with YouTube, because I don't have the time to. So I do more podcast videos, but that's really why. And you guys know that, I told you. But I still love doing YouTube, and it's a fun hobby for me. And I know you guys like it because you watch all my stuff all the time. So, you know, I've decided to just kind of stick with it. And I don't, you know, it's sad not having it. So I, you know, just came back and I was like, oh, I'll just do it, man. But it's really all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications, and I will update you if anything happens. And that's when we will be getting more serious, a little more combative. Hopefully don't have to go to war for the second time in 3 months. I really hope that doesn't have to happen again, but if it does, it does. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which will be a Star Wars tier list video. But warning, it is an absolute mess because my computer screen recording capability is diminished and I had to switch to phone, and I didn't get a screenshot of the tier list. It's like a mess, but it's salvageable, so I'll just upload it anyways. But just fair warning, it's complete mess. You know, but till the next one, see you guys soon, and just remember that your focus determines your reality, and may the force be with you always.